we're excited to feature lots of our awesome team members that are killing it in certain areas of their business, well, really all areas of their business. But congratulations for all of you guys showing up this morning, and I'm very excited to jump in with you today, Brad.
All righty. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm getting all kinds of texts now. Like I was like, what's going on with my phone? Everyone's texting me that they're here ready to go. Let's jump into today. We got a great week ahead. This is week number 5. And what I'm excited about today is we're going to cover a little bit more about this in a second, but we've gone through all the basics. We've gone through the awakening. We've gone through how to share on social media. We've gone through what awakens clients, how it all starts with the health assessment. And a lot of times before we even get there, you guys are seeing the success. We're on track for a record month this month. A lot of people tracking for their first month of executive director, first month of Big Thinkers Club. And it's because of all of you guys being consistent and doing the do. This week, we're going to cover something pretty powerful. We're going to move into the awakening of coaching with people, but really that comes from us just doing masterful transformational coaching, all the little nuances that make all the difference. So we're going to kick off today with just sharing some of the stories, because sometimes, like, I don't know, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm still blown away by all the changes that we are doing in people's lives. And just like we've talked about all the different ways that we awaken people and the matches that we have, like just looking at what we're transforming one step at a time. So Lori and Gary, I'm going to kick it back to you. We're going to kick off today with some stories and kicking off the call today. So lead us into today and let's kick it off.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm excited to share a lot of these stories today, because this piece of the structural piece really was a game changer for our business, big time. And I'm more of a transformational person. And so embracing the structural pieces of this was challenging. And it's okay to ask for help, you guys. Like, it's so important to link up with your support team, and knowing that, like, there was so much that I needed to learn from Brad, and there was so much I needed to lean into Garrett to get help with as well, because we can all bring different pieces to the puzzle to really, really create a dynamic business. But one of the things I really want to talk about first is just how you treat your business. Are you treating Optavia like a job, or are you treating it like a lifestyle? Like, you guys, we live, eat, and breathe Optavia. It is who we are. It is in our blood. And it's so important to share it, with your family and bring them into the equation, because if you walk into your bedroom and you close the door and you make your calls and then you come out and sometimes there's some resentment that can be built. Sometimes there's, they're not really fully understanding what you're doing. And it's really important to include them in the equation. So Garrett, do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. We made it a decision from the very beginning. We integrated this business into our life. So it was completely seamless for our kids. It was seamless for me. I didn't have resentment against Lori, and I could have been the forefront of the business in the beginning, and we needed to have the mindset that Lori would be supportive of me, but it happened to be Lori was the passionate coach. She just dove right in, started growing our business from nothing to what it is today. And it's because we're a team here at home. I just pick up the slack and do whatever it needs to be done to just keep things seamless. No resentment. With the kids, we're integrated. The kids are right there. We're all in line, in alignment, stepping together and knowing what our future is. We dream together. There's so much more possible than ever was before. I keep reminding myself, we're in this community. Yes, we're blessed, but we were chosen. We were chosen for this, and this is a big platform for us just to be ourselves. So anything you husbands or whichever spouse is the supporter, just make the decision, dive in and do what you need to do, because this is not a temporary journey. This is life's journey. So let's just, you got to make that commitment to just do whatever it takes, because that's going to open up you for just amazing dreams.
Absolutely. Thank you. So another thing, you guys, too, is that it's so awesome when you're working on this as a team. Like, he is my rock. And it's so important it doesn't matter how little or how much they're involved. keep them involved, bring them in. And I want to introduce an amazing couple, Paul and Sunny Kane, who just made that little 1 degree shift. We always hear Brad saying that it just takes that 1 degree shift that changes everything. So Paul and Sunny, if you guys want to unmute yourself and just share a little bit about what's been going great for you guys.
Sure, yeah, good morning. I think the first point we wanted to bring up was our finances, the income. We went from 3 full-time incomes down to just our Optavia income 6-7 months ago now, about 7 months ago. And just Optavia alone, the business side has been able to sustain our family comfortably for this last 7 months. Without it, boy, because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. We lost 2 full-time incomes within 3 months of each other. So it's been a complete blessing in that aspect for us. And before we lost those 2 incomes, we were able to chip away at quite a bit of debt we had incurred over the years. That was kind of like the beginning of the business. So it really helped us there. I think for me, for my health journey, when Sunny started it a little over a year ago now, 2 years ago. Wow, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago now. She had her goal. She had the weight that she wanted to lose, and she went on plan, and she started when she got to maintenance. And the whole time I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm a man. I'm a dude. I need my food. I need my fuel. And then within the last couple of months, I started to realize, okay, I'm getting up there in age. Denial, I am 15, 20 pounds overweight, and it is affecting my health. And so I went on plan. And I tried a couple of things, and I figured out I got on the 3 and 3 and started eating lean and green. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. Just losing the 10 pounds, 10, 15 pounds that I needed to lose, is one thing, but that has trickled down to just my stamina, my endurance, my strength, my mental clarity, my overall mental being, my happiness. And so I'm watching Sunny run the business. And again, she's the extrovert in the family, and it's her thing. She's right in her sweet spot. But I wanted to come along. I was like, okay, so enough excuses. I kept telling myself for the last year, dudes, what can I contribute as a guy? How many guys are there? How many couples are there? And then really talking to you guys, Lori and Garrett, talking to you and just being motivated from you guys, just lit that fire in me. So we just started this, awaken adventure. I love adventure. I love to try new things. I love to take risks, whether they're calculated or not. And so I joined her just a couple weeks ago. We just kind of started doing some things together. And me come alongside her in the business, and it's been great. It's been great for our marriage. It's been great for our family, our kids seeing it. Now we've had a pretty stressful season of life the last couple of months, a lot of change in our house. So for the kids to see us working together and to be passionate about something together has been huge for our family. And then that adventure, it's kind of TMI, but I'm sharing it with the dudes and the couples out there, right? Like, who doesn't want to spice up the bedroom, right? Like the optimal living, the stamina for dudes, the weight loss, hey man, our bellies can get in the way or whatever.
Oh no.
So, I'm sharing, it's honesty. It's like,
So we've awakened adventure in the bedroom, but
yes.
Anyways, it's been an amazing journey for us, and something that 2 years ago when we came into it, I never ever would have imagined all Optavia has done. And we have learned to work as a team, and that has benefited all areas of our marriage, like Paul was saying. So it's something like I've been in ministry for a very long time. So this translated from ministry over to this, and it's been amazing. So we could go on forever, but there's so many more stories to hear. So we will silence. But thanks for no, you didn't go too long. So
she's normally the talker.
Thank you guys so much. Paul, do you know that Sunny's parents are going next? Okay, so thanks for sharing that, you guys. It has been very, very awesome just seeing you guys get just reawakening your business, your marriage, everything over this last little bit. and I'm excited to see what the future holds for you guys. So thank you for sharing. That's awesome.
So good. So good.
Yeah. So I'm very, very, very excited to introduce Raylan and Daryl, Sunny's parents. Sunny's, it's been super, super awesome. I was very fortunate and blessed to be on her first health assessment, and to see how far Raylan has come just literally brings me to tears. She is living Optavia, you know, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. She is living the trilogy. And so I'm not going to tell any more of their story, but Raylan and Daryl, if you'd like to unmute and jump on and share a little bit for us.
Well, thanks, Lori. And this is, you know, I love Optavia because it saved my life. You saw me at that time. Of course, years I'd been on a yo-yo dieting, playing that game for years, for 40 years. And then I got so sick because of obesity that I ended up in a recliner for 3.5 years on oxygen. And I could, on tons of medications, I couldn't hardly go anywhere. I sat in that recliner and, day after day, and we didn't travel much because, or even I didn't even go to the store because I had to carry the oxygen all the time. And so Daryl had to do, the housework. He had to do the, everything. And plus he was working full time and taking care of me. And I was, it was so bad to the point where my oxygen would fall off, or I'd take it off accidentally, and I would end up passing out. I mean, this went on for years, and it was a horrible, horrible time. And then I watched Sunny lose her 52 pounds, and it was like, wow, this is cool. That's pretty awesome, but I'm afraid I can't do it. There's no way I can't do it. No way. I failed at everything. And finally, when they gave me a diagnosis that said I had 3 to 5 years to live, it was something that hit my heart. And thank God it was the wrong diagnosis. But at that point, I jumped in, and I just jumped in, and Daryl, bless his heart, came with me. And so go forward, in 11 months, I lost 132 pounds. In 4 months of being on the program, I was off my oxygen. I was off my CPAP, off my medications, and I literally had a new life. And of course, Lori, I borrowed your belief from day one, and now I believe it myself. But why did it work for me? Because I found hope. I found hope, and I found support, and I broke free of that prison. And so I jumped into coaching because, first of all, I wanted to be accountable to my journey. For me, that was the selfish part of it. But then I discovered my passion that I've never had in my whole life. And now I have a purpose. For the first time in my life, I have such a purpose. And because I want to help people break free of that prison of obesity and that disease. I've been there. And so as a coach, it's like, how do you give this hope away? I mean, it's, the bottom line is you need to share unapologetically what you do and why you're doing it. It's like, whether it's on Facebook or on health assessments or just everywhere you go. I mean, I go in and buy new clothes, and it's like, guess what? Hey, yeah, I get to do this because I lost 132 pounds. And they go, why, what, how? And so it's like, that's unapologetic. I am not going to apologize for the excitement that I have. And so, so this is not a program, you guys. It's a chance to change a life. I might be the one, somebody like me that you're sharing with, you might be the one that helps them get out of that chair. You might be the one that helps them breathe, without an oxygen tube up their nose. You may be that person. And so, and it took me, a long time to get there because I sat in here alone and depressed and down, and I was, in fear of talking to people. And so due to that isolation, it took me some time to do that. And then I got to thinking, if I saw a stranger, without a drink of water, wouldn't I walk up and give it to them because I see they're dying from that thirst? And I'm thinking, it's the same way, you guys. People are dying from obesity every day. Every day, I was one of those people. And so, stand up and give it to them. Give them that hope. Give them what they need for life. And, it's like, so we're not giving them a program, we're giving them a way of life. And so reach into your heart, be led by your purpose, share unapologetically everywhere you go. And the bottom line is, you guys, I want everyone, we should be a billboard of hope to this world. And, you know, it's like, that's my passion. It's like, I love Optavia. So.
Well, you can see that Raylyn is the vocal one. She's the passionate one that it just becomes, exudes from her life. We started the program together. I started with her. I felt it would be a way of supporting her. But also, I've lost my 32 pounds. I lost the gut. It was difficult to bend every time I choose. And then in May of last year, I retired. And I was always thinking that maybe I would get a part-time job at Lowe's or something like that, just to supplement my income and give me some activity to do to keep me busy. And Raylyn shared with me, said, why don't you join me? Why don't you help me? And she says, well, look at these income statistics. And I saw those as the businesses grow. And I thought, wow, yeah, I could be your assistant. I can help you with this. So that's what I did. I came along beside her. My background, you know, in the scientific field made it easy for me to do the background stuff, the data stuff. I pull up all the information to track the coaches, to track our clients, to do mid-month reports, to prepare for the first of the month, getting the map ready, and just all the background support. So that's what I'm providing for her. And, you know, a part-time job never could have supplied the income that Optavia is providing for us. So now in my semi-retirement, and as we move forward, we have so much freedom now that we never would have had. We can dream dreams, we can set goals to do things that we never thought was possible. So that's our story.
Oh my gosh, you guys, so incredibly powerful. I don't know if you could have set us up better for today. And we could have had a lot of people share. I mean, I just want to give like complete credit to everyone here that has their own story that is that link to other people changing their lives. And if you can actually in the chat, so we're going to use it a lot today, if you have the ability to boil it down to like a one word or a one sentence, what is Optavia giving you in your life? Drop it in the chat as we go through here today. Hope, freedom, a lot of freedom, hope, confidence, purpose. That's what we're doing for people's lives. So I want to congratulate everyone here on being on week 5 of the boot camp, because this is where the game changing happens. And we're going to set up today. We have a lot of great topics. We talked about being consistent and what it does, but really what we're starting to gain is the vision of what we are actually helping people set up a course for in their life, like all the way from what Paul and Sonny shared. And you know what? That is a benefit for sure. 100%. Raylyn, Daryl, everyone here, Lori, Garrett, and everything that everyone's putting in the chat. This is what we're giving people. And it's multifaceted. It's multidimensional. If you get really good at doing the little things, like Lori was giving credit to, like the 1-degree tweaks that help you like spark true transformation. That's what we're going to go over today. Like the things that lead us to that. We've gone through all the basics. You guys now know how to share. You guys know how to do this stuff. You guys know how to support. We've gone over the thing. Now we're going to talk about like what makes the difference in that. So I hope you guys have your notepad today, because we're going to jump into it. We've talked about what the goals are. I know a lot of you guys are working on executive director this month. A lot of you guys are working on your first month of Big Thinkers. And we've talked about the 4 things we do with coaching, which is awakening clients, supporting clients. We've covered all of that. Now we're going to start getting into like masterful transformation and awakening coaching and what that looks like today. And then next week we'll move into what it looks like to support coach as well, as we bring more people into this community, set more people up on that purpose of paying it forward. So mid-month, one of the first things that we're going to do is I'm going to have Karen Tiros come on, New Integrated National. And like Raylyn actually spoke to this for a second ago, and Daryl did, about like what does it look like checking your business middle of the month, like knowing the metrics, knowing the different things. So today we also talked about all the things that we will cover that will set your business on fire as you're doing the transformational. We're going to cover referrals today. We're going to cover what are all the things we're covering? Referrals, follow-up, and integration calls. Like we're going to show you the masterful pieces that set up more transformation just like this, and more people having what you guys just put here in the chat. But one of the things come down to inspecting what we expect. And Karen, you've just like always inspired me, because you've always done such a great job of this, and you put such a good heart through the inspecting of your business. So come on here today, because this is an important time of the month. A lot of people moving towards their big goals. We're setting up for like our best months of the months ahead. what are some of the things you do at this time of the month that have completely made the difference in your business going forward?
Well, thank you. Thank you, Brad. And it's hard to follow up with, I'm going to try to make the numbers really exciting after listening to Sunny and Raylyn. I find numbers very exciting. So this is one of my passions, but really your numbers, your business starts with your map at the beginning of the month. You know, setting your goals and what you want to achieve. And if you do have a team, what does your team want to achieve? So if you know that in the beginning of the month, then you know how to monitor your business going through the month. You want to work with your mentorship team. You know, if you do, want to grow at a certain rate, you want to be in communication with your mentors because they've done it before us and they know how to do it right. If we follow their guidance and follow their structure and the way that they teach us to do things, then we are also going to succeed. So what, and just to give you like an example, like I set my goals at the beginning of the month and I shared those with my mentorship team, and my team came back, my mentors came back and said, no, you're going to do this, not that. So, pushing me to dream a little bigger and to push a little bit harder. So it starts with your map in the beginning of the month and defining your goals and then being able to watch your goals come to fruition through the month. So checking your numbers frequently is really, really important, but mid-month is really critical. And the reason it is because at the middle of the month, we can look at our numbers in the beginning of the month and say, okay, we're on track to do this, or, we're tracking to reach this group volume, but those numbers change. And they change because people push, people move orders, people cancel, whatever. People are moving things around, their order isn't as large as you thought. So we need to be looking at those numbers all the time to kind of see where we are. So mid-month, if you're checking your numbers mid-month, that gives you time to redirect and refocus if you need to. If you have a goal that you want to accomplish by the end of the month, mid-month is critical to look at where you are so that you have time to redefine and refocus and get to where you want to be. That means, too, reaching out to your mentorship team. I do it all the time as well. If I'm thinking, okay, I want to achieve this goal, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, I'm reaching out to my mentors and saying, what do I need to do to get where I need to be? And I'm the kind of person that if they tell me to do something, even if it's uncomfortable for me, I'm going to do it because I want to grow. So you want to be in constant communication with your mentors and follow their lead. And this doesn't matter where you are in your business. You could be striving to hit senior coach. You could be striving to hit executive director, or you could already have a team. Wherever you are, you want to constantly be in communication with your mentors, have goals, and look at where you want to get, at the end of the month. So by looking at your numbers, which are so exciting to me, I don't know why, I'm a geek at heart, I love numbers. This allows you to be proactive rather than reactive. So if you're not looking and then you say, I want to reach executive director this month, and then on the 28th, well, it's a short month, but if you're waiting till Tuesdays before the end of the month and you look and you're like, oh my goodness, I need 6 new clients to hit executive director, that's going to be a lot more difficult than if you're looking at it mid-month and saying, okay, this is where I am now and this is where I want to be. So this is what I need to do. So like I said, I'm kind of geeky. My background is also scientific. Numbers are transactional, but the numbers will also produce transformational changes in your business as well as your team. So if you have somebody who maybe wants to reach a goal and you're looking at the numbers and looking at where they want to be and you're directing them through the month, then you're going to see their business transform and them achieve their goals, which to me is really exciting. Seeing people that are on your team or whoever it is, reach their goals. So that does transform their lives. And that's how numbers can become transformational. This really, truly has been a major key for me to grow my business. Following my mentorship team, following the structure, following everything that's in place, looking at your numbers frequently. This truly has helped my business grow and has blessed me tremendously just by getting into structure. I know we all talk about it. We all talk about being in structure, but this truly has helped my business to grow, and it will help anyone's business to grow if you just follow the structure and follow the direction of your mentorship team, the people who have done it before us. They know how to do it, so just listen to them. So embrace the numbers, people. They're wonderful things. So anyway, that's all I got.
Well, it's not all you got, because I'm gonna ask you a few good questions here, because I'm sure, there's so many people here that it's like, everything we do is the basics. Everyone's doing the exact same thing that's growing. And I remember a conversation with you, Lori, Gary, and April, where you were like saying like, okay, I have some big goals. Obviously you had the transformation. Now you radically changed your health and you have that fire of helping people. And so many people are here probably saying, yes, I want to grow more in my business. You've had tremendous growth. You had a lot of people break through. I love that you're talking about like how you saw the potential in like the numbers helps you see the potential in the people's dreams that they have and how you're going to help them get there. What are some of the things as you were getting this down, if we're talking to like the new coaches that are striving for their first month of executive director or getting this down and moving to Big Thinkers Club, what are some of the things that help you make sure this happens in your business? Because again, everything's a learning skill set. Some people are like, wait, assessing what? I just learned how to do my map. What helped you be remembering how to do this at the beginning of the month and remembering to check at middle of the month? Like, what do you do that helps you stay on track? And what are some of the things you can leave people with here today?
Yeah, totally forgot to mention that. Like anything else, it is a rock in my schedule. I schedule my checks. I schedule a beginning of the month check. I schedule a mid-month check. I schedule a check around like the 23rd of the month. So it is putting it in your schedule and keeping that appointment with yourself and making sure that you are looking at it. It doesn't take a long time. And the thing is too, with anybody who's new, your mentors can show you how to do this. They can show you how to go into back office and connect and show you how to check your numbers and make sure you have a pulse of where you are. So anybody new, it doesn't matter where you are, make an appointment with yourself, put it in your calendar, and keep that schedule, keep that appointment with yourself to check your numbers. So yes, it is definitely a rock in my schedule.
Making an appointment with yourself. That's so good, Karen. I love that. So for those that are new here, just as a recap, so if you want to make a note here down today so you can be like, oh, cool, this month I'm going to finish up doing this and I'm going to do it well next month. Because I've been doing this like every single month for the last 10 years. And it has been the catapulting change in so many lives in our business continuing to grow is the beginning of the month, like setting up that intention with your map. We'll go more into that as we start off next month because we're going to finish up these weeks with starting off March with helping you guys set up your month. Middle of the month, around the 15th of the month, do that pulse check, grab your map. What are you tracking for? What did you put down as your goal for the beginning of the month? How is that going? Reach out to your support team so you can make a plan on how to finish up your month and who you want to help by the end of the month. And then again, I would also put the 22nd in there as another pulse check. So you give yourself plenty of time to finish up, know exactly where you want it or where you need to do to finish up where you want to be by the end of the month. So crucial. Lori, you and April have done this from the very beginning. So anything you want to add to that before we bring on our next speaker?
I love everything you said, Karen. I wanted to add that if you find value in doing it, you've got to find your value in doing it. And so if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed and, oh my gosh, there's so many people coming on or my team is growing, things like that, you guys really, when you put that rock in your schedule, it just frees the burden of having to feel overwhelmed. That's really, really important. For me, because I was more of a transformational person, learning this skill set was a challenge for me at first. But I really realized that as my team started growing, that how we always talk about transferring the skills. It's so important to know it and understand it and live it so you know how to teach it. And as your team is growing, it's honestly, they're depending on you. So when you learn it and enjoy it and embrace it, it's so much easier instead of just thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed by it. But Karen, you do it beautifully, and it's an honor being partnered with you. Like, you inspire me in so many ways that way. So
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. And I do love just being proactive and not reactive, because when you know where your business is and where it's going to end, it frees you up to help more people and serve more people and stay organized in that way. So thank you for that. And I'm really excited. This is Karen and April are another example of the ripple effect, and another example yet of strangers coming into your life who become your best of friends. It is amazing what we have here in Optavia. I could talk forever on just that topic alone.
Feel like proud parents, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Just glowing with all our kids out there that are doing so amazing.
It is so awesome. So I'm going to introduce April. April runs some of the highest frontline volume in our organization. She is just really, really good at what she does. She is on top of her team. She is the queen of follow-up. I love thinking of how much growth, because sometimes people look at these people like, how are they doing it? Like, I don't get it. What are their secrets? But honestly, consistency is April's biggest golden nugget. And I think back of the days when she first got started and how much she has grown. And every single month, I can't do it. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And just, oh my gosh, when she finally let go of that and unleashed herself, it is amazing. And she amazes me every day. So April, I'm going to let you take it away, girl, on follow-up.
Okay, thank you very much, Lori. I would just say, you keep hearing the same words over and over again, but really what made my big shift and my breakthrough was embracing consistency and embracing structure. So, I'm talking about follow-up, if you want to change the slide. So I'm talking about follow-up, but basically, one of the biggest things that I do with follow-up is I schedule them. I don't just leave it to happenstance that, I'll get back to them at some point, or, on Friday follow-up, I'll go through my notebook. Now, Danae covered that notebook fantastic last week. I have a notebook that just stands by itself because after 4 years, I've got a lot of follow-up to do. But what I do is it's a combination of people that I've done health assessments with in the past. So that notebook has those health assessments, and it's also the hundreds list. So you have complete access to that also. But I put it in my calendar so that if somebody says to me, I'm not ready right now, why don't you check back with me in a month? I put that in my calendar. So a month from now, I call them back and say, hey, just checking in to see how your health journey's going. You asked me to give you a call back in a month. It's been a month. What's happening? So the scheduling is really important. And it could be a month from now. It could be 2 days from when I first talked to them. It really doesn't matter. But once I worked with my mentorship team, and Lori specifically taught me how to work my calendar. Because for those of you that don't know, I had 3 jobs. I was working 60 hours a week. So I was super busy. But you know what? I can also tell you, I've never brought on one coach that said to me, oh, I have so much time available. Could you please give me something to do? No, that's not really the way it works. So learning how to embrace structure, learning how to schedule these things are critical. The other thing is when I think of follow-up, I think of it as not only following up with clients, bringing on new clients, but also bringing on new coaches. So, when you we talk about dripping coaching on people, which is fantastic. But once you've dripped it once, it doesn't mean, they're going to remember that drip and they're going to come to you and ask you to be a coach. It means that we have to continually follow up with that and, put it out there. So one of the things that I do all the time is as I'm following up with my clients and I'm finding out, how are you feeling? How much weight have you lost? Are people noticing? And then that's when I'm starting the whole talk about, if anybody does notice, then, I will give you a referral fee or I could co-coach them. And Susan's going to talk about that following me about the whole referral thing. But follow-up is many things. It is not just the follow-up Friday to call a client back. It's following up with people on coaching as well as becoming a new client. And I will say that one of the big breakthroughs that I had that really leapfrogged my frontline volume was when I did embrace structure and do that scheduling, like Brad had mentioned a little bit earlier. So when I really sat down with Lori and Brad, and I was very, I'm not sure how I'm going to even make $6,000 this month or something like that. They kept asking me, do you have a schedule? Well, kind of, kind of didn't really do it. So once I embraced, maybe they know what they're talking about, and actually did what they suggested that I do, that's when it made all the difference in the world. So embrace the structure, and consistency is key. That's why those 2 quotes in there too, because that top one, I'm not a product of my circumstances, I'm a product of my decisions. Instead of me saying, I can't do this because I have 3 jobs. I can't make my follow-up calls because of whatever. No. When I made the decision that I was going to get to where I personally wanted to get, and this is just my personal goal, that's what made the decision. The end.
The end. Okay. Pause for a second. April, so good. And the reminder of follow-up and having the book and just realizing that once you make the decision is so key. And that's what we're covering today, are all the things that make the masterful difference in growing your business and helping other people. And one thing I would just encourage everyone here in what we're doing is speak boldly into people. Like a lot of responses in your follow-up are going to be fear driven. Like I had a client a person that I'm going to start on program this week. And they just recently said I've got all these old products that I've had and I've got to utilize it. Like they're talking about like another company. And, I'm just going to be bold enough to say them. And this could be my follow-up after this call because I got the text last night. I'm going to be bold enough to share with them like, hey, you share with me what you want to accomplish. Let's get this started, because we have to fight for what people want in their health, that awakening, what's going to lead to transformations like Raylyn and Daryl's or Paul's or Sunny or everyone that you guys said what's happening in your transformation. Remember that the follow-up and speaking into the potential you see in them and fighting in value what you want to show them, like bringing value-driven follow-up is the key in here. So good, April. Thank you for this reminder. And just remembering that, like, even for coaching, like, they're not going to remember that trick. We're helping unveil a journey for people. So we have to take the steps one step at a time. So good. And the reminder to schedule it. Any last tips you want to just share with anyone here before we move on to our next masterful changing topic?
We keep hearing this about lean into your mentorship team. And what I did, especially at the very beginning, when I knew what my goal was, because I wanted to get rid of those 3 jobs. And I did lean into my mentorship team and ask them. I didn't wait for them to come to me. I asked them, what can I do to move myself forward? And they then gave me suggestions. And it was this is my business. So they never told me what to do. They gave me suggestions, and then I just went ahead and implemented those suggestions. So when you know what your goal is, I would suggest reach out to your mentorship team. And then when they ask you to do something, do what Karen said. Do it scared. Do it. It's worth it.
So good. Thank you, April. All right, let's move on to our next topic. So good. Building in the next step of transformation is like referrals. Building a referral-based business. I'm going to turn it over to President and Director Susan LaBelle, because again, just the other nuances. Once you've built the solid rocks of the things that we're talking about here, referrals become the game changer of people not only surrounding our clients with more people changing their life, because we want to surround them with people changing their health, but also a never-ending doorway to people that want to transform their health and people coming into our lives. Like, I would have never met April or Lori or Raylyn or Daryl. Anyways, it gets cooler and cooler from here. So, Susan, you covered the beginning part of this, which is the health assessments. Show us what it looks like to create endless amounts of referrals and how they can be the game changer in our business.
Hey guys, good morning. party people. So excited that Brad gifted me, I feel like, this topic, because I'm going to bring you back into my brain today. Got to kind of share what that looks like on the health assessment, but everything that's been covered, this is kind of that culmination. And referrals, it's really a decision to have a referral-based business. So I want to talk a little bit on mindset, and just for illustration purposes, I'm going to just kind of share, there's 3 types of people out there. There's the ones, and tell me if you guys like these people. You can drop a 1 in the chat. Ones are those people that just already know how to refer to you, right? They're the ones that, like, once you get them started, they go onto Facebook and they comment like, I'm so excited to start my health journey. And we're like, what? Like, this person's already living out loud. Like, this person's going to be a coach. And so we love those people. They maybe live in a referral-based world. They understand referrals. They already live out loud. And so some of us are waiting to find number ones, and they will come, which is cool. Like, you help enough people, you're going to find your ones, which is great. And then I'm going to skip to the 3s. The 3s are the people that no matter how much you work with them, and yes, this has happened to Shane and I, we have assisted people to lose over 100 pounds, and we've not received 1 referral. Like, what? Like, how does that happen? Like, and you feel like you've shared with them, you've asked who's noticing, and they are just like secret agents out there, and they don't want to tell anyone that they've had to go on a diet, even though it's totally obvious. And so we're trying to make that person like, give me your people, right? So I'm not so worried about the number 3s. I'm worried about we're talking about the number 2s. And this is already, I've got kids, so I should not have used 1, 2s, and 3s as an illustration now that I'm talking about number 2s. But number 2s are your people that need to be coached on how you refer. And when you tap into this like segment of people, you can create a referral-based business. So sorry, my PowerPoint kind of freaked out on me when I came in, so that was laughable. So referral mindset. Here's the thing, guys. Referrals aren't just something you get. You're going to get them from number 1s. But from the number 2s, you are going to cultivate them. So in the chat, will you share with me, why do you refer to others? What do you look for? Maybe who are those people in your life? And I want you guys to read through this thread, because who in your life do you refer to really naturally? Maybe you've got an awesome hairdresser, or an awesome, Brad has an awesome car guy. And because of that, we reached out to him about his car guy, because he's talked so highly of his car guy, right? And so is it your real estate agent? And what do they do? What are the attributes of the people you refer to, and why you refer to them? And when you start to like read through that, guys, and then embrace what it is, be like, why would someone refer to me? What am I doing? April, I'm positive you have a crap ton of referrals coming your way, because your follow-up rocks, right? So I know for me, when someone's really like professional and they follow up, and I see them, like my hairdresser goes to like hair shows to learn to be a better hairdresser. I see her wanting to master her craft because of that. So when we're at events and they see that we're wanting to master our it's like, I want that health coach that actually goes and invests in themselves. That will yield, I'm going to use the word crap ton today, because that just came out of my mouth, a ton of referrals for you. So a referral mindset, you are going to pay closer attention to how you lead your health assessment. So that takes me back to a few weeks ago. Okay. You are going to be more professional with your follow-up. You are going to want to master and stay on time, right? Respect their time, respect your time. You are going to be more cognizant of how you speak and act out and about. You are going to honor the commitments you make to people. Because why? Because you're going to refer to people that honor their commitments, right? So when you start honoring your commitments of like, yeah, I'm going to follow up with you a month from now, and you do that, that will bring you referrals. Your weekly support, everything Danae talked about last week. How many of you would refer to Danae? I would if she was my health coach, because she rocks that. And so it's like being more cognizant. What you post about, how you post and encourage people, that's going to bring referrals into you. How you show up professionally, all the things that would enable somebody to trust you and confidently and positively recommend you to somebody else. Okay, so I want you to get that in your bones today, because making the decision you want a referral-based business, once you make that decision, you are going to up your game in all areas, because that's what it takes. That's what it takes to like embrace the number 2s. Oh my gosh, this is going downhill fast. So anyways, do your clients say, I'm doing Optavia, like out and about, or are they saying I'm working with a health coach? That's a shift, because when they talk about you first as your like an instrumental part of their change and their shift, you will start to bring about referrals. So how we coach to them early and often. April already spoke to that. We spoke about it on the health assessment. Danae spoke about it last week. It actually says right on the back of the health assessment, lastly, is there anyone in your life that you would like to get healthy with you? So like we are asking then, when they say yes, we're giving them the path that, hey, they're going to have this, transformation. Either, I'm happy to coach your friends and family, or, we can talk about what it looks like for you to coach your friends and family. So we're layering in like referrals. I love to set the expectation that most clients refer about 3 to 4 people or so, in their first month, just because there's such that transformation. Because most people do what most people do. So when they hear that, they're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to like refer a ton of people your way. So that 1 week integration call, Danae's going to speak to that, but there is doing these integration calls is so key in developing referrals. When they're excited about their journey. So pick days to talk about referrals when they're like killing the game and they feel like awesome and they're sharing all their wins with you. I find that 15 to 20 pounds is like, if you have not asked this question yet along the way, is the who's noticing. And I'm going to go a little bit into the verbiage on that just following this. So just hold that thought. But I want you guys to know that like with referrals, we do have to help them identify like specific people, because I feel like when we ask like, who do you know, how many, they're trying to sort through, like they say we know 300 people, right? They're like trying to sort through 300 people, like, and they're like, I don't think I know anybody, right? And it's like asking somebody, do you know a good joke? And you're like, I don't even remember a joke, yet you've heard like a bazillion of them, right? So we're trying to help people like narrow in. So I love to use like specific examples. Like they went to a party on Saturday and made really great choices. Hey, did anybody at that party notice? So what I did is I just took the 300 people they're trying to sort through down to like 20. And they can sort through 20 and then go, yeah, I had this great conversation, with one of my like old friends. And so do you see how it's like we're narrowing the focus, okay? Coach them how to refer to you. So we're coaching people on program, but we're coaching people how to refer to us, because some people truly just don't know how to refer, nor do they know that you're in a referral-based business. This whole business, I mean, we kind of made it up, not really made it up, but like in a way, like they think maybe we're getting, I don't know what they may be thinking. So it's important for us to be really, really clear about what we want. So this is my verbiage for you. This will all be on the coaching pages. But I love when they, I love like, well, who is noticing or what? And I say, well, what did you tell them? This will tell you what your clients are saying. So if they are number 3s and they're secret agents, they will go, oh, well, I just told them that I'm, eating well and exercising. I love that. It's like, really? You aren't going to give that gift away to them to let them know that you actually have a structure and a coach? And sometimes I do ask them, like, would you not want that for them? Like, I am trying to peel back the layers of the onions of the number 3s, right? But with the number 2s, it's like, I find out, are they like verbal vomiting all over them or whatever? And either way, whatever they say, I compliment them. Like, that's so exciting. Can I offer you a few tips, or can you do me a favor? So I'm coaching them because they always say sure, but I'm asking permission to coach them on this. What I just found so simple for you is just to let them know that you're working with a health coach. Why? Because I want them to say, not I'm doing Optavia, but I want them to say I'm working with a health coach. Why? Because I want to be part of that primary transformational process for them, where that's what they're edifying out and about, so that people are calling me, not signing up through Optavia. Okay, so I just let them know, you don't need to share the whole program. That's my job, especially if they're like telling them all about, I'm eating 6 times a day and drinking tons of water and all that. So next time someone asks, I've just found it easy to say, I'm working with a health coach. Let me connect you, and I'll answer all their questions. And doesn't that just take the pressure off of you? And they're always like, yes. And here's what I can share with you guys is, I've had to coach to this with the client, just like April had mentioned with follow-up. It's not like I did it one time and I'm like, well, they got that. Like, they got that figured out. I'm like over and over, like layering how to best connect me with their referrals. So I just let them know, I found it best to just connect me on a 3-way. You can email, text, or instant messenger me, and I'll take it from there. So when they do that, they connect me, and they usually edify me as a coach. They'll say, oh my gosh, which is like, not about it, but I can just share with you guys, like, when a person edifies you in that thread, it's like you're 90% there of like helping that person get healthy. That's science. So, you know, I just let them know that I would love to offer, you know, complimentary health assessments to any of their friends. So I'm just coaching them through the process. So if you want a referral-based business, this will be part of what you're coaching to along the way. So here's my best tips, because I know I'm running out of time. Keep track of all the names. So this is about that, like, being on point of who they share with you. Write on your health assessment, write in your daily check-ins. Did they mention their mom? Did they mention a coworker? Did they mention like someone, so that you can kind of follow up and say, hey, have you had a chance to talk to Sally at work again? You know, and you can track them on your contact list if they've connected you with them. And then you take off on, you reach out to them to set up a health assessment. Referral thank you credits, I think, are a great way to just show appreciation and letting them know. April spoke to that a little bit. You know, $25 goes a long way, just to say, hey, you know, I offer a $25 thank you credit for sending anyone my way that gets started, you know, on program with you. And I think the biggest thing is just don't be scared to ask for referrals or let people know. You can do it in a really, like, I don't constantly go, hey, do you have somebody for me? Do you have somebody? I'm not like annoying like that, but I let people know that like it's in their best interest if they create an optimal living community around them who in their world would love to get started with them. Or, you know, when someone, if they bring up a coworker, I'm like, wouldn't it be fun to have somebody at work like be doing this alongside you? You guys could like really champion for each other. Like, I'm really posturing the importance of that. And here's when I talked about when they refer you and they put like, oh my gosh, Susan's so great and all these things. I don't care so much about that, but they show up preloaded with trust for me. And then my goal of the health assessment is just not to talk about it. So that's really where I'm going. It's just like, hey, they're already ready to go usually. And that's what I love about referrals, is they're preloaded that way. So my overall goal, though, is to not take a referral. Why? Because I know it's in my client's best interest for their long-term health, for them to coach their friends and family. I also know that that person's probably going to be reaching out to that person anyway, because that's where the relationship is. That person's already going to coach them anyway, right? We already all know that. So because of that, it's me really confirming and like layering that. So I love to say, you know, oh my gosh, I love that Sally's excited to go. Would you like me to coach them, or would you like to coach her together? Like, and then that moves into the coach explore. Yeah, let's explore what that would look like. So that is an important question to always ask. And they may say, oh no, I don't know if it's like, well, let's just explore it. That's why it's like in that moment, we're not asking, are you going to coach? We're saying, hey, let's just explore what it would look like for us to coach Sally together. And that's where I can layer in. She's going to be talking to you anyways at work. So you might as well be like on the front lines, but I'm here to help you. Okay. We want to help them build their optimal health community. Why? Because it's in their best interest for their health long term. This isn't about us getting coaches, people. This is about us giving our clients the best opportunity for long-term success. Okay. And even if I'm going to coach them, they're going to call you anyways. And clients will join your coaching team. So if you're not seeing this transfer of clients moving into coaches, all of this is where you want to just like kind of ask for help from your support team. Is like, are they seeing that you're professional? Are they seeing they trust you? Are they seeing that the systems are simple and something that they can duplicate? And I will tell you, clients who refer, especially those number ones that are living out loud, they make the best coaches. But the number twos, if we can like help and like guide them, they make amazing coaches as well. Not that the number threes don't, but like, and keep encouraging them to like get outside their shell, but just continue to, don't focus on them. You know, we already know they do well, but really, really focus on who in your world you need to help layer. So this is what I'm going to end with. Cultivating referrals is much more than just getting new clients, okay, for you. It's going to encourage you to get better. You're going to have to get better, guys. How cool is that? You're going to have to become more efficient. You're going to actually have to learn how to run a schedule. You're going to have to learn to become more professional. I'm assuming you're on this call and you want all that. So that's what's exciting. And take an evaluation today. How many referrals have I developed since the beginning of the year? And no judgment. I don't want to give any like energy to that number, but just as a gauge, and then make a goal of what kind of referral-based business you want to create. So with that, I'm going to stop share, Brad, and I'm going to pass it on over to you. And I went way long. I'm so sorry.
I don't think anyone is upset about you going long today, Susan.
Okay, I apologize. That was
absolute fire. And I just have to, I'm going to resist the urge to say amen to like a million things that Susan said, but what I can say is that she, like this, I would go back and watch this because these are the little art pieces that make all the difference. It is the accelerator. It is the game changer in your experience that your client, and you don't have to be, when I first heard stuff like this, I used to think like, oh, I'm gonna have to be so amazing. Susan doesn't have to be amazing to do all these things, but doing all these things does make her amazing to her clients. Does that make sense to you guys? So in case you guys are sitting there wondering like, oh, can I do this? Can I be Susan? No, you just have to do the right touches. People refer where there's value and where people feel supported and they feel safe. So these little nuggets you gave us, by doing these, you're going to get referrals and you're going to help people move into coaching. But more importantly, you're going to facilitate a masterful transformation process with your clients. Susan, so good. The chat's blowing up. And I love the question because it helps you realize who you want to be. When you think about that one person that you refer to emphatically, they have all those pieces that Susan talked about. So let's help the number twos be great today. Let's have some great number twos. Anyways, let's wrap up right now. I talk so loud that I just woke up our baby, so I hear him crying in the background. Good thing Ashley's on top of it. Let's wrap up with just one last thing here, you guys. And if you guys want to know a piece that actually feeds in to what Susan was talking about and makes all the difference, because again, this week is all about what facilitates massive change and awakening people's complete optimal health, masterful transformations, but also what moves people into that. That is the pre-ground for people move forward into having a vision of taking on optimal health and paying it forward. Because that's the topic this week. And a lot of people talk about, how do I awaken coaches? It happens here in the stuff that we're talking about today, in the little bit of showing up, the little bit of touches. So one of those pieces, and this is where we're going to wrap up today, is why and how do you do integration calls? How do you keep it simple? Why do you do them? Why should you do them? Like, is it worth my time? How do we make it simple and easy? And what part do they play in this process? So I wanted to bring on Danae because she kind of alluded to it last week. And I'm sure go back a slide. I'm not going to give away the how. Danae, you talked about masterful client support. And I don't know if everyone caught it, but during the time you were talking about, you said that day 6 text is the game changer. So for wherever you guys are, if you're really good at these calls, then great. We're going to show you how to fine tune them. If you're new and you're like, what is an integration call? What do I do with this? Danae, would you just give us like a little bit of feedback real quick here? Because we're going to wrap up here with this tip and just give some quick tips here. But I picked you because, one, you talked on the subject of supporting well during the first month, and this is a major rock of it. But also, you do a ton of integration calls. Like, I actually have a screenshot of one-on-one you asked for with Denise because you love it. You see the accelerator and the journey. So would you just talk about it? Why do you do them? Like, what do you notice with your clients? Like, why do you do them?
It's a pivotal moment, Brad, in a client's journey to be celebrated. I think that so often in life, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, we have those unboxing gloves in our own head. So to pause and to celebrate that even within the first 7 days of their journey, they have done amazing things, adds fuel to that fire of them being able to continue to have propulsion to move forward throughout that first 30 days. And to bring someone else in and say, oh my gosh, I've been totally talking you up to Brad and Denise. Guess what? They want to meet you. They've heard how you have killed it this week. Let's celebrate you. And so to be able to watch that fire continue to be ignited and for them to see that you care so much that you're bragging on them makes a big difference in their journey.
Yep. I love it. And this is also where referrals come in a lot. So you're going to kind of start to see some of the masterful pieces. So what we want to share with you guys is these are the hows and whats. And also because all of everything we share with you is how to keep it simple. I'm sure you guys, by implementing the different rocks that we put in here, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm helping more people. This is easier. I'm doing more quality in less time. Like, I'm doing all the things Susan just talked about. Well, you guys will this week. And it didn't take me much time to do it. So here's how to work it in. And I would say here's where it's at. If you are a newer coach, I would do every single client as you're growing to executive director. And again, if you miss someone, don't sweat it. It's not about being perfect. It's just about doing more of the things that work best. The thing that's going to be a benefit for you are not only the things we're talking about, but you're going to see some of the ways that your coach masterfully asks questions at that 1 week mark that makes all the difference. I remember learning so much, just one, because my mom is my coach and I heard her coaching other people, but also when she would get involved. I just did an integration call with my mom 2 days ago, and I just still am blown away by the questions that I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have not asked that question. It's just another, like, it's a game changer in fine tuning your skills and just always having a creative juices in there. But for you that are already executive director, I would still do most of them. Maybe you are really good at integrating at that 1 week mark. Like you're really good at moving them forward into their journey. I would still do this, and because it is a game changer. It helps with referrals. It helps display the community. It catapults them forward in their health. You're going to hear things that you probably wouldn't have heard. And today is going to talk about this for a quick second. But here's another side. This is a side effect. And it's just kind of like the same thing like Danae talked about. Like, hey, and a side benefit of like your journey is people are going to notice, and we might need to talk about coaching. A side benefit of integration calls is they're probably going to move forward to coaching sooner. That's just what happens. And not why we do them, but it's a thing that happens when you display community, you accelerate, you encourage, and you show the support that we have. Here's how to simply do it in your process of doing this. Is it starts in the first few days when you're coaching your clients, layering community, your journey, and also layering how your coach was a role in your success so they can see the duplication ripple effect. The day 6 text sets it up. It literally talks about setting up their integration. You probably talked about it on day 4. Generally, when I'm coaching people in the fat burning and I tell them which day I'm going to check in with them, which Tuesday is my check-in day with my clients, my celebration day, they know that that's coming. I might even layer it in that I'm going to bring in my health coach. Hey, I'm going to see if my coach is available today. They have so many tips that were so helpful for you. Or like this last scenario, I had someone that was having a hard time like balancing their busy work schedule. And I was like, you know what? My coach is really good at that. I'm going to see if they can come on next week when we touch base to bring in some extra help on this. They were also having like a hard time on the weekends. Again, another reason for me to bring it in. It was just so natural. So here's what happens on the day 6 text. Before you send it, go like don't send that text real quick. Before you like push copy paste, and I'll let Danae talk about this, is go to your support thread. Like you can see Danae, here's a message here. It's actually being covered up by my screen here. But it's like, this is her literally scheduling an integration call on day 6. Like I'm about to send the day 6 text. Are you available? She asks for the time. So when she goes to that text with her client, she's literally giving that client a pocket of time that she knows works for everyone. And it just makes it really simple and easy. It's seamless. And the best part about this, if you guys are wondering how to do this very simply, is most clients, like drop me a 1 in the chat if like 90% of your clients start on a Monday or Tuesday, right? Like pretty much everyone, right? So day 6 is going to be Saturday, which you guys are here on the training. So basically your day 6 texts are going to be like on Saturday mornings, like when you're here with us. You're going to text your support team and be like, hey, Monday when I'm calling my clients, or Tuesday, just do it on your day that you're already touching base. They already know that call's coming. They already know you're going to touch base with them on their celebration day. Just set it up for that day. It's not an extra day. It's already in flow. Danae, like, I'm going to come back to like how to set it up with the Zoom and everything. But Danae, would you say anything to this? Like how simple is it to do it this way? Has this been, do you want to add anything to this?
I completely agree. Just keep it simple and find what works for your mentorship team and you first before you send that, and don't be that frantic. Oh no, I don't know what to do. It sets us up for success. It triggers us because those blanks are already there. Reach out, give them a little background. What's going to be convenient for the client? Like for this, she's a stay-at-home mama, so we could do it during the day. There's a little bit more flexibility. If it's a client that I know works all during the day, either a lunch break or on their way home from work on those days that are normal, my check-in days, my Mondays or Tuesdays, and just give them that background to set your business mentor up for success, but to make it very seamless and simple. It does not need to be cumbersome. This is just one more component of caring well for someone.
Perfect. And we figured out that Zoom is best. So Danae, and I'll give you guys, there's 2 tips that you can do this on doing it face-to-face. But Danae, what are some of the ways that like, because getting clients that download Zoom the first time is like, it takes a little bit of, what are some of the finesse pieces you do? Because like, I just watch your thread with Denise and it just seems like so easy and you're doing so many of them. Your guys' organization sponsors so many coaches and awakens that next step of their journey so well. What are some of the things you do that really assist with the integration calls and having people ready for Zoom? What are some of the things you do?
Laying it out very simply and not making it an obstacle. If I come in and I have that preconception that it's going to be a challenge, then that's what I'm going to give off as well. So coming in that, oh my gosh, this is so great. We're going to connect on a Zoom. It's a free app. Just simply go download it. And if you have any questions, let me know. At the time we're going to meet, I'll post my link here to you. So again, like we've talked about with with Susan sharing about the health assessment, and when we talked about caring for the first 30 days, having clear communication and expectations, that's just the expectation we set, is that we're going to get on Zoom. I don't ask permission. I just say, this is what we do. I'm so excited. It's simple. Download it, and I'll see you then.
I love it. And I gotta mute a couple people real quick. You also said something else to me when we were talking about this subject, about how you generally, I gotta go backwards. You do the call, you do Zoom, like you do the night before via Zoom sometimes, or you do their health assessment, because it helps them learn Zoom earlier. Plus you get to, like, it accelerates the relationship. How do you do that all the time, or what are some of the ways you do Zoom early with people? So like before you even get to the integration call, they already have Zoom.
Yes. So I just, again, that expectation that, oh, let's just do it on Zoom. It's a great way. I want to see your face. I haven't seen you in so long, or I can't wait to meet you. So that it just sets it up that I'm excited to see them. And that way, while we're having a conversation, it's more personal. So it makes it very simple. If they're adamant, which very rarely happens, that they don't want it to get on a Zoom during a health assessment, that's fine. I'm not going to let it be a barrier, but I just kind of tuck that nugget away that maybe they have some own personal struggles. I've done Zooms, guys, where they can see me, but they refuse to turn on their own camera. And that's okay, because then at least they see I'm a real person and that I love to look at people and engage in them. So I'll talk to a blank screen, but it allows me to create an open relationship. It begins that speed of trust, like Franklin Covey talks about, and or Stephen Covey talks about, to allow us to build that relationship that we're normal. Even though we can be all over the world, I still really care about this client. And especially on those night before calls, I really get on Zoom. So even if I may have done a health assessment over the phone, I have them download Zoom, and I've noticed a big difference in my clients' engagement within those first 30 days, the ones that jump onto that Zoom with me. Then I'm able to watch them look at their Optavia guide. I can see if perhaps they're hesitant, or look at their face and see if they seem excited, or if they're nervous, or if they're reserved. I can read those facial and body cues to better serve them and to dive in a little bit more. They can see me lean in. I can watch them actively hold the guide in their hand and what they're looking at. So it better sets them up for success knowing that we have Zooms, and it helps them to get comfortable with Zoom for when they become a health coach, and for engaging on those habits of health calls on Wednesday nights. So then they just know, all they do is they click that link when Optavia sends them that reminder text, because of course we want them to engage in that texting Optavia 30 to 99,000. So then they know, I let them, you just click on that link just like this, but guess what? Nobody's going to be able to see you, and you'll just be able to see the amazing speakers.
Perfect. So try that out this week, you guys. Like, again, a lot of you guys are doing pros. And again, it's also a reminder, like, it's still the basics, like integration calls make the difference. You're going to hear like a few things that happened on some calls this week. I heard a few, I heard a few whys that weren't expressed in the initial health assessments come through. I heard some people in their community that are asking questions. I heard some layering of how to refer, like Susan talked about. I heard like a general like understanding that this is going to be able to work for them. I heard some like really just loving the community and the first time they feel like they'll be successful. These are the things that take place on these integration calls and accelerate that. So this is how to set them up simply and easily. So again, basically in the execution, once you've set it up, just do it on your celebration day. And you can do Zoom, like Danae said, just send the link, help them just like know how to, it's just easy to pop on there. Or another way you can try doing it, this is newer too, if you want to try this out, and if you have questions, you utilize the support team, but just circle up your client and your coach in a chat after you confirmed it. And then what you can do, like in a Facebook chat, you can actually just do Facebook Messenger video. Like it just calls everyone and then everyone's on the screen. So most people do Zoom because that's what we've been familiar with for a long time, but you can actually do the Facebook Messenger video and it works just the same. So it's also a little bit easier too because they don't have to download anything. So either or is fine. These are the two primary options that we find that are effective. So try that out this week because that's one of the action steps because you guys are doing fantastic. And I'm going to wrap up the call with this. Congratulations to all of you, just continuing to fine tune your journey, continuing to grow, continuing to get after making this your best life as you transform lives. So here's the simple focus. And actually, I don't know why it says, well, one, it says WELK 3 action steps. I need to learn how to spell better. And it's week 5, not WELK 3. these are the things to focus on this week that will just help you just stay the course, like keeping coaching simple. Just stay on fire in your health. Keep taking it to the next level. Your fire feeds, like people can feel your energy of what you're focusing on. Doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be taking the next step, like what we show other people to do. Message your support team. Like Karen went over, what is the masterful thing this time to do this time of the month? It really is the accelerator of the difference maker and the fine tuner. Knowing what you want to create is what's going to get it, and linking up with your support team. So message off your map, maybe grab a few minutes to make that plan on hitting that next level is what I highly recommend it. Bring on your next 1 to 2 people that want to change their health. And if you haven't, or whether you are already a pro at this, do your next integration calls this week. Always the basics. It's the game changer. Inject that excitement, inject that energy into the clients that you're bringing on. And then basically you guys continue to live boldly, continue to be on fire, and just keep doing the steps. Lori, Gary, anything you want to add as we wrap up today?
Everybody was so great. I love these calls. Thank you so much for especially getting up as early as you do, Brad, for all of us as you're in Hawaii right now. It just shows your commitment to all of us for our growth, and just get a good pulse of where your businesses are right now, you guys. You've got so much extra time this month to just change a lot of lives. And just as a recap to what everybody, I want you guys to kind of like listen to these leaders as they're speaking and just look at their confidence. Everything that they say is so matter of fact. There's no emotion that holds them back from sharing or asking for referrals or getting integration calls set up. It's just matter of fact. Be confident and bold in your offer. And I'm just excited to see what all of you guys are going to make happen this month. So thanks for having us share today, Brad.
Awesome. Love it, you guys. Gary, do you want to add anything else real quick?
Well, I was just going to follow up. Danae put in the chat, which is exactly true. As we're doing our mid-month numbers, all the numbers that we're inputting or checking on, it literally equals transforming lives. So all those numbers have greater meaning. So just think of it that way, not as, oh man, I got to do my numbers. Like, oh, how about look at all those lives I'm changing because of these amazing numbers that I'm tracking right now. So perspective.
So spot on, Garrett, and that's the exact way. That's the masterful way of looking at it. So my friends, congratulations. If that's what you need to focus on today, or if you haven't done that step yet, do that right now. Continue to hone your skills and to change lives. And I also have to remind you, like, again, the consistency of this is coming. Like, February bleeds into March. And again, I know you guys we're already on track for a record month, but like you guys haven't still seen the effects of like where people pour in because of your consistency over the next little bit. So keep it up, keep fine tuning, keep adding these things into your steps, and keep massively transforming lives. Appreciate you all. Go have a great Saturday, and let's go change more lives. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.